Dear Barta, it's been a long time since you came to Annecy, I think.
I think I was here about 50 years ago.
15 years ago?
Yeah.
We could say it's a long time. You choose to adapt a short story by the famous Irish writer Arcadio Hearn, who lived in Japan at the end of the 19th century and even became Japanese. It is an important writer for you?
I think that it is important in Japan, and it is very well known, like a philosophical writer.
You have to be very close.
Yeah. And of course, he wrote a lot of folk stories. He wrote that Yuki Onna, this is Snow Woman, and including many stories which is part of Kaidan. Kaidan is a collection of, I can say, strange stories, mystery stories, something like that. It's a dark feeling, and so I didn't want to do such easily to say that this is a dark mood, this is a dark atmosphere, so I wanted to add also something which is poetic and which belongs to the Japanese culture.
There was an adaptation of Kwaidan like 50 years ago by Masaki Kobayashi, and Yuki Onna is, if I remember well, the first part of the film. Have you seen it?
I saw many adaptations of Yuki Onna on the internet, of course.
Okay.
But of course, there is a collection of live action films, including Yuki Onna, and I think I don't know which title, but I saw that collection too. But I tried to adapt that story into combination between live acting, box animation, and it's a special technique, and animation frame by frame in Photoshop, and combination of many techniques together.
You really like fantastic stories. When we look at your whole filmography, I just remember the Secret World of Globes and the film you did with the vampires, and so Yuki Onna, it was a personal project. It was your own choice.
It was partly my choice, but it was mainly a suggestion of my Japanese producer. And first of all, I wanted to choose another one, which is a well-known legend about Urashima Taro. It is a little bit more philosophical story about the relativity of time. And I like that very much, but anyway, my producer offered me another story, which is Yuki Onna, and it was the first step, and he promised me to continue in another story and so on. But now it's a situation that I stopped in the first story, so I'm waiting for another offer.
Okay. Were you approached by a Japanese producer, or you or your Czech producer approached a Japanese producer?
No, that Japanese producer co-produced my last feature film in the attic. It was a puppet animation with 75 minutes for children. Mm-hmm. And so after finishing that, I was in Japan after that shooting, after finishing the film, and so he introduced me to many people, and they that story.
I remember that I think it was the last or one of the last films of Bretislav Poyar was a Japanese story produced or co-produced with the Japanese producer. So is there any particular link between Japan and Czech Republic?
Yeah, maybe because I appreciate that aim of my producer, Mr. Manabe, because he focused his interest into Czech animation, and he supported not only me but also my colleagues, and he gave a chance to illustrate some books and to make animated films and so on. They are also distributed some Schnappmeyer's.
Most of your films are a mix between live action and animation techniques. There is very often in your work live action parts, or sometimes I remember that the Secret Life of Globes, I don't even know if there is real animation, I mean frame by frame things in this film. So do you, when you begin to work on a project, do you sometimes say to yourself, okay, I will make an animation film and sometimes a live action film, or you don't care, it's just a mix, it's the same thing for you?
My first idea, it's not a technique. My first idea, it's a theme, it's a feeling of story, of some storyboard and so on. And after that, I'm looking for a special way how to express that theme. So that's why sometimes it's a colored paper film or puppet film, or combination between live action and so on. Live action it's a good contrast to animation. So that's why I like contrast. So sometimes I'm using that. I like to compare the live action with animation.
I've noticed that the music is absolutely great in Yokiana. So tell me about the way you work with your musician.
Normally this music composer is a composer of live action film, and so it was a new experience for him. But I didn't have. I did work with him before, but my editor suggested him to me, and he said that it's quite well, and so I found that it's true.
Yes, Nancy.
I was familiar with the story, but I found that your adaptation really moved me a lot. And I was curious about the photographic images you had, where they came from and how you found them.
There are many archive photographs, and of course we combined with drawing background, because I had to prepare many scenes which was drawn, and of course that characters was shooted on a key background, and it was put inside. But anyway, I had to share the whole movement into separate frames, and I also put some drawings inside and so on.
Another question?
Les films de Trenka sont toujours introuvables en France, et je sais que vous avez célébré à Prague récemment le centenaire de sa naissance. Est-ce qu'il y a eu un projet de rééditer tous ces films?
Yeah, I know his anniversary this year, and his relatives are going to prepare some exhibition. I think that Jiří Trenka belongs to our main person in animated area. And of course, he founded our Czech animation in 1945, 6, 7. And of course, there are few persons which are important in animated history, in Czech animated history, like Přemysław Pojar, Jan Schwankmajer, and new one, new generation.
Barta.
New generation. Mikhaila Pavlata, Pavel Koutsky.
Thank you very much.